most important thing
Ikintu kimo ekyabe kikankala sana
in every business that succeeded is that they met a need.
mu makwebo yonse ayapulinkanya pamwendo goba kutira tibena balibika umulingo nangule kyakabila.
You have heard me talk before that you have to give people a reason to buy from you.
Mwaliumfwa bayilanda pwefi file wapela abantu chirubo chinshi benga shitira kuli iwe.
The most important part of that is that you fill a need.
Ichikankana chibi chachu cha muchipimfya chakoba kutira iwe ufile waumfwa efya abantu balefwa yanangula ukukabila.
Remember that it is not just enough to do what you love to do.
Ibukishi
It is not enough to just do what you love to do. Did we lose Abraham?
They're still on the call. Are you there, Abraham? So yeah, they're on the call, but they are not. There is no volume. And
okay, let me just come in. Then if Abraham comes, I will leave it to him.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Yeah. You can
Emmanuel,
go ahead.
do you want to? Yes, Emmanuel will do some interpretation until they jump back on, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is important that your business starts with what people need.
Chikankala okutila business enu ifure ya tampa ukulingana ife abantu balefwaya.
It is not enough to just be what you want to do.
Alite chintu chimo chingabe chingi ukuchitefi ntefi ole kabila.
I want to give you an example of a few businesses in Africa.
Defo kumpela kwa filangilo fimo kuma business aya nono aya wa Africa
that have been very, very successful.
Ayo amakwebo aya pamulu sana.
One of them is a business that is a beauty supply business.
Ati imoyo ninga mipela ko bukwebo ubwa mikulile beauty imikulile.
That started in 2005.
Iyo yatampile mu 205.
The founder of the company, a man named Ian Furr,
watampile ubukwebo muntu fye umo,
did not know anything about beauty supply.
Uyo umuntu ushaishiwe pamlandu wa adwela ngu ifi akukulila.
His family owned a couple of Kmart stores.
Ulupwa lwabo, his family, repeat again.
His family owned a couple of Kmart stores and he worked in retail.
Ulupwa lwabo lwatampile ukuchitapo kabili basheta mpanomba ukulashita nangukula panga ifya ma retail, okay? Yeah. Watampile ukula panga ifya ma retail.
And he recognized a need in his community.
kabiri aishire kwata okumona ifintu fyakukabila panchende apo bekalila munchende yabo.
And people would come into Kmart to buy beauty supplies.
Kabiri n'abantu baleta mpo kuisa mukushitafye ivyo ifyakukulila.
And they would give themselves their own manicure and pedicure.
Ayo batampira okula mupela ifyakutiba engashita n'okutampa okula mupela ifilekabirwa nga nanshi.
And he heard ladies say they could not find a place that was consistent.
Ilintu lyonse lintu bashitata balekwata okusanga n'enchende iyo bangabikapo ifyakutuwalilila.
So he saved money and borrowed money and bought a small beauty clinic.
Ati alekwata okusunga endalama kabiri n'okukwata okufaayo endalama kumbi pauti engakwata nomba okuti engashita pauti engakumanisha ku bantu.
And if you look at a picture of Ian Fuhr, who started
Yeah. Hello?
Sorry, Mark, you'll have to repeat. We lost you there for a second.
Yeah.
Ian Fuhr that started the business is not a good-looking man.
Ati ukutampa kwa bukwewo bwakwe muntu ushalemweka fena bwino.
He is not an expert on beauty.
Tali muntu wakuti alekwata ifyakuti engaba bwino muli business yakwe.
But he recognized need.
Lero icho amwene ifintu ifyalekabirwa.
He started a business buying one clinic.
Ayambira obukwewo bwakwe ukukwata fye okusuntinkanywa kumo.
And then he had 5 clinics.
Kabiri nomba aishire kwata okufika na pampendo 5.
Then he started to franchise his business.
Atampira nomba okuti engatampa nomba okuishibisha obukwewo bwakwe.
A couple years ago, he sold his business.
Myaka ino nopo aishire kwata okukwata nomba obukwebo.
His business had 220 stores.
Obukwebo bwakwe bwaishire fikwa na pampendwa yafikurwa nangulo umwakushitishisha umwali 200 nokupishapo.
And over 3,500 employees.
Kabiri aishire kwata na abantu abakubomba ukuchira pali 3,500.
So it is important to remember you need to see a need.
Kairi ichintu ichiabafe ichikanka icho mfulemu alolekeshapo chakumona ifyo mungakwata mwingamona ifyakukabila.
His business was successful because of consistency.
Obukwebo bwako bwaleya pamulu pamulando wakutitali umuntu wakuibwelamo.
In other words, he had 220 stores.
Munshira imbi akwete amastoro nangulo mwakushitishamo okulinga apa 250.
And no matter which one you went to, you got treated the same.
nangu winga ukulikonsoko winga temotu winga bomba costume kula mune fintu fyalenda fye muli chimo chine.
Every store had the same culture.
Ati umwakushitishako mwakwe mwena mwale mune kafe chimo chine ifyo baleshisha kumbi na mulamulisha ifyo baleshitisha.
Every store maintained a high level of service.
Ati umwakushitishya mwakwe monse mwena bali kwete ukubika ifintu ifingaleta ubukankala na ngulo okumuneka okwati chachine baleshishapu efintu.
And people were willing to pay for service if they knew what they were going to get.
Ati abantu balekabila okuti batemwa fyokupela pamulandu wakwe bati fintu ale bomba n'okutangata abantu ale batangata ubusaka.
There are valuable lessons there.
Ati kuliko efintu fimo ifyakumwena konango ife twingasambililako uko kuli uyu muntu.
Recognizing a need is more important than having the expertise.
Ati ukufuaya ifintu ifya abantu balekabila munchende chintu chimwe chingakwate okuba chikankala palifwe ukuchila ukufuaya ukumuno kwati ukwate ifintu ifingi.
Ian learned that he could learn about beauty supplies, but he could not learn how to create a need when there was not one.
Ati ena ale kwate okumona tale molesha pamulandu wa kuti wakwata ifya kukulile efingi nangula ifili mustolo efingi nga chakutita ukwete awa kuti bafisenda ninshi kwata pale efe winga chita.
He took the profits from his business that when he sold it,
ale kwata indalama ishingi ishapa mulu mu bukwewo bwakwe nga chakwe bati ena ashitisha obusaka.
and he started a institute to help other businesses.
Kabili aishile kwate okutampako na tumbi utuntu twalelenga okuti ati business yakwe ile yafirishiwa mukuchito tuntu.
The next business was a company that makes foods.
Ati imbi business ati company akapanga ifyakulya.
The beauty supply started in South Africa.
Ati ubu bukwebo bwa fyakukula bwayambire mu South Africa.
This company started in Zimbabwe.
Kabiri imbi company yaishile tampila mu Zimbabwe.
And he was selling maize.
Ale shitisha amataba.
But he was selling it to the prisons and to the local markets.
Ati ena ale shitisha amakwebo yakwe kubantu abaleisa kuli ena kabiri ale shitisha na mukati akanchende ya chalo icha Zimbabwe.
His name was Leslie Morange.
Ishina lyakwe nilyo line lintu balumbula Leslie Morange.
He changed how he cooked the maize to be different.
Aishile kwate okuchinja ifyo enga kwate okubika amataba yakwe ukuba ayayibela.
I know nothing about cooking maize, so forgive me if this doesn't make sense.
Ati nshaishiba ifintu ifili fyonse pamulandu wafyo tukwate okwipika amataba lelo nga chauti chita chikwete munanikane ati kuti mwakwate okumbela koluse.
But as I understand it, people were roasting the maize.
ati icho naye shiba chakwati abantu abengi babika amataba yabo pambabula ukocha.
And he boiled it partially before roasting it.
Ati kulaba ukuipi enale ipikako iyo talati abike pambabula nokocha.
And his sales doubled.
Nomba uyu muntu alesha ifipimfya fibili.
So don't be afraid of doing something different.
So mwikwate omwenso ukuchite fintu ifyaibelako.
Then he started recognizing that people wanted something healthier.
So nomba muli ula musango atampine nomba okulalo lesha nokufwaya abantu ababanga kwata ukumona icho bengatemwa.
So he changed his business.
Echo achinjile na makwebo yakwe.
And he started testing ways to make a granola bar.
Abili atampine okulafwaya enshira imwe yakutengeshamo pakuti ati ifintu fingeshi bikwa bwino.
Because he saw a trend of people wanting healthier food.
Kabili aichile muno kwati abantu abengi balekabila ukuti bengashita ifintu akwete.
And because his maize business was barely paying for his bills,
Pamulanda kuti ukushitisha kwako kwa mataba kwale moneko obusaka.
he, through a friend, got a loan to make a granola bar.
Ena pamono munankwe ati balile kwati okwipusha ifya kupoka loni pakuti ati bengakwata okupusha obukwebo bwabo.
He got a large, very large loan because he had a business plan.
Alikwete okupoka loni ikulu pamulando ati ena alikwete amapange asuma muli bulya obukwebo buntu akwete.
He did all the things that we talked about,
Achitile fyonse ngefyo twalandapo kale.
and got a bank to loan him money.
Kaili nomba ailira ku banki nayo banki yalikwete okumupela indalama.
But his relationship with the bank was through a third party.
Lelo ukwampana kwakwe na banki ni pamulando watu ntutulya twine tuntu aleshitisha.
Somebody he thought was his friend.
Come again?
Somebody that he thought was his friend.
Ati fyo umunankwe alechita.
His friend stole almost half of the money.
Uyu munankwe aishire kwata kwiboko balandai ukwi store. You are talking about a stolen mark.
Yes, stealing.
Okay, yes. Uyu munankwe aishire kwata okwiba indalama.
And he still had to pay the money back.
Lelo uyu muntu ena alitwalilile ukulapela fendalama.
He was in very bad financial trouble.
Aishire kwata ubwafyo obukulu pamulando wa ndalama ishintu akwete naomba.
But he had a staff of people helping him to make and sell the maize.
Lelo abantu abakwete bale kwata okumwafuisha ukushitisha amataba yakwe,
and they believed in the company's mission and in its leader.
kabina batetekele pamulandu wafyo uyu muntu atontonkenye pamulandu wa bukwebo bwakwe kabiri nefyo alekwata okubomba na bena.
And they got behind him and helped him grow the business.
Ekyo bayire bena kuli ena n'okumwafirisha ifyo engakusha obukwebo bwakwe bulya bwine.
They worked extra hours, and sometimes they waited a long time to get paid.
Ati balekwata okubomba inshita ikulu inshita shimo balekwata n'obwafya bwapa kuti bengakwata indalama mu kubomba kwabo.
So it is an important lesson that you have to build a culture.
So chintu chimwe chikankala okusambirira ifyo imwe mufwire mwakula ifyo mufwire mwasenda obukwebo bwenu.
A culture where people trust you.
Ati ifyo mwingakula nangu misendere ya bukwebo bwenu abantu kuti bakwata n'okumichetekela.
Because your employees can put you out of business or get you into business.
Bantu bali abantu abo imwe mwayengesha limbi kuti bakwata okutwalira okubomba na imwe nangula limbi kuti baya nangula mu mabukwebo yambi.
And just like today, the church is experiencing power problems.
Nangu pakuti mwamona palino nshita amachali chayengi yalekwata okushupikwa pamulandu wakukwata.
His business experienced power problems,
Na eno iyi business yakwe yalikwete okukwata ukapitamo mu mafia yantu yale kapitamo.
his employees were willing to come to work whenever the power came on.
Ati aba bomfi bakwe balekwata fyokutema okuyisa mukubomba nga bamona ati uyu muntu amonekako efintu fyamonekako bwino kuli ena.
Because they were committed to making the business successful.
Bantu icho bayimininepo chakumono kwati bamono kwati bukwebo bwa uyu muntu wayapantanshi.
Now he sells granola bars in 120 stores.
Nomba ubukwebo bwakwe bwaishire kwato kuyapantanshi n'okufika pamastolo ali 120.
And has a very successful business.
Kabiri aishire kwata n'obukwebo bwakwe bwakuyapantanshi bwino bwino.
There are several companies that have started in Zambia recently. There are several companies that have started in Zambia in the last couple of years. We lose Emmanuel.
I think we did. Abraham, do you want to, Pastor Abraham, are you there to be able to interpret? We will just pause for a moment as we get interpretation organized. Welcome to those of you who have joined recently. Glad to have you on. We'll just wait one moment as we find someone to interpret.
Maybe let's get on Kelvin Kayata to help us with the translation. I've seen him is around. Let Pastor Kelvin kindly help us with the translation. Thank you.
Okay, so can we go?
Just one moment, Mark. We're almost there. Pastor Kelvin, are you there?
Yes, Pastor. Good afternoon.
Good evening
All right.
there. God bless you. Are you okay to do some interpretation?
Come again?
Are you able to interpret?
Sure, it's no problem. I can do that.
Thank you so much. All right, go ahead, Mark.
Thank
Yeah.
you. There are several new companies in that have started businesses in Zambia recently.
Kuli amakampani apya atendeke mu Zambia.
A company that helps find funding for green projects or environmental projects.
Aya makampani atendeke ayafirisha abantu abali muri aya makwebo abo baleeta kwata green project.
A company that teaches young children using nothing but recycled materials.
In company yo yafirisha abana abo ababonfya efintu fyapala nga twakozesa amaplastiki ero nomba bamukuyatula lya amaplastiki batwala ku kampani kuli ero kampani lyayapangamu efintu fimu bimbi mabotoro yali ayabonfeshwapo bayaposa ero bakwata okuyabula baleetwala kulira kampani baleepangamu efipya recycling baleerandapo efe iyi kampani bombapo.
Both of those are growing very quickly.
Aya makampani yaleekula apakalamba nshi muno mu Zambia.
Because in Zambia, people are recognizing the need for being environmentally conscious.
Mulando akuba ati mu Zambia nomba abantu nabamba okwiruka n'okuba abantu abachenjera n'enchendewe balipo kumuno kuba ati nchendere muleka bwino not fya kwadife mulekeresha.
And so they recognize the need and they are responding to it.
So balisa muno kukabirwa ukwali pabena Zambia ilo twale posa kaposa ekafe efintu mubamuna bena Zambia balefwaisho kuba ati kusaka bwinga bapo. So bachimona chirya nabo baleta mu company yarafirisha mukule bomfya fire efintu fire posa fya bomfeshwa kwati benga pangira mu efintu fya.
The next one provides internet on buses in Lusaka.
Imbi company yena ibomba na internet yangula ne filanga ma buses afu makurusaka yali yakopa belt mwanasanga ati muri myoto kashimo nga wakwera muri na internet munamwine wala connected ulebo mfya phone nangula kufiri fyonse.
The fourth one started providing services to companies to help them have technology.
Imbi company yalenga 4 yena ibomba nama companies ayabakale muno mwine mu Zambia ayalekanalekana ukubafirisha kuba tubenga kwata technology apadama computer na simbi fya kubonfya fya technology ngefe twaishi bamafoni ne fya shara.
They make websites and they make do marketing and provide internet solutions.
So efe bachita balafirisha mukupanga ama website efilya nga mwayapa Google mwabika www. Nga ni unza fila yaisa yaleta page yaba unza nga ni basibiyu nga ni companies. So balafirisha kupanga ama website yako ati abantu kutuba yapo kabiri n'okwa firisha kusta marketing amakwebo yenu kubonfya ine technology.
The fifth fastest growing business in Zambia right now is a company that recycles plastic.
Yimbi company alenga 5 ile kula muno mu Zambia ngula ile ekitabo ino niyo company ile bomba na ma plastic ayenenga mwasta plastic bagi mwaposa bambi baisa batola baletola kuli ine company bena bamukupanga mu efipya ma plastic ayena yaoneka otreposa.
And that is what I mean by listening to what the market wants.
Ifi emondosha ilona landoko bati twaba n'okunfwa kufyo abantu balekabira kumono obwafulishi kukabira okulipo panchendera nangula musumba ero mwatendeka okwasuka kuli bwasuka.
Because 3 of the top 5 are about environmental causes.
Pale ama kampani twalanda ali 5 yatatu yene yalelokesha panchende obaleta mutsungu ati environment okulolesha inchende oyo tulipo efintu tushungurike so balebomba nefintu tushungurike munchende emo tuli yapala ina maplastiki na fintu tashukata okulanda.
So they listened to what the market wanted.
So aba bantu bali umfire kufyo abantu nangula bekana chalo nangula omusumba umuli ayina makampani fe balefwaya nangula okabira bali denshita.
All right, now here's a company that failed.
No mbakulina imo company yafirirwe.
And it was actually, I think, a good idea.
Yali kweta batontonkanya yasuma mukutontonkanya kwandi.
And they provided cold storage for food.
Vale pera ifintu fyakubika mu fyakuli fyakutalisha.
And they built a business to store mostly fruits and vegetables so they would last longer.
So bailetera efintu tukata okulandapo mwako bati abantu balebikamu fyapala emisalu na fimbi bakuba ati nga mwasita omusalu nga mwabikamu fyayikala panchiteita litafyona yikeyo.
So they created a place where you could store your supplies to keep them good until you could sell them.
So bali kweta okupanga inchende imo eko imo mwinga twala makwebo yenu nga mwashite efintu kyomulefu kwamba okushitisha fyapala emisalu na fimbi mwayasungisha kuli bena so nga mwafu okufibomfya nombere mwayafisenda n'okutwala pa market mwamukushitisha.
Because one of the big problems in Zambia is not just that you can't grow enough food, it's that you can't store it long enough before it goes bad.
Ubwafya bumwe tuwakwata mu Zambia wakuba ti kukana lime bulimi bukalamba lelo mukushupikwa kwa kusunga file mwanga fyalimi kwa kwachifika lebune fya fresh nga twasombola twakwatuma kufisungira panchiteita.
And it is heartbreaking that food has to be thrown away while other people are starving.
Kiraba ichakalipishwa kwa mutima kumono ko bati ifyakuda panta mukwete pa kusungira pasuma fyaonaika ero mwe bati katupose fyakulya ilo kulibamo abalechula abalechuchutika balekabire bufine fyakulya kyomulya mukuposa.
So it sounds like it would be a good idea to have cold storage.
So chamufikire ngetontonkanya erisuma okuba ati kwingaba iyi kampani ile leta kwefintu fyakusungiramu ifyakulya kwati fyatala fyasungwa buno kana unaika.
But an outside company came into Zambia and started a business doing cold storage.
Lero kunse ya ekikyalo bayita mpire ayena makwebo otwala ndapo ayakwata efintu mwakusungira efyakulya.
They did not get to know their customers.
Lero bwafi bwako bati tabakweta okwishiba bakasitoma baabwe nangula abantu obala epyungira.
They did not build relationships so that the small farmers would trust them.
Tabakwete esenge n'abantu ebo balefu okwati bala epyungira ngula abali ma clients baabo abalimi uko bati bakwate okubacetekera okwati kwena abantu nga tabapere firimu afyesu nga tabapere efyakulya bakala afisunga bwino bena tabakwete okukwatalira esenge n'abantu balebombera.
And so after a year in business,
Panuma ya mwaka umo ukuba muri ayamakwebo,
they only had 11 farmers that trusted them.
bakwete fye abalimi abalifye 11 abo baleba musungu ati abali 11 eba abacetekera baletwala nga basombola nga ntomato nga musaru ero batwala kuli bena tubikire niko pitarale efisungu kwe bwino tukesa sende oshwaka mukukishitisha.
And in 2019, they closed their doors.
Kabiri na mu mwaka oyo balumbula bayishire kwate okwisala nokuyabaya.
And there is a valuable lesson in that too.
Muri ki muri isambiriro iri kalamba.
You have to have a relationship with your customers.
Ufire wakwata isenge nangula buchibusa n'abantu obaleta nga ma customers bobe okala kyako efyo fintu kuba besenge pakati kaiwe na bena notubulwaniyo kuba bechumfano.
You have to have a culture where your employees and your customers believe in you and trust you.
Ufire wakwata porutambi rumo wapanga porutambi fye ulobe ka company oberwako bati aba bonfi bobe na ba customer bobe omule pyungira bakwata okucetekera.
There is a lot of lessons in these examples.
Muri fifya kumwenako muri amasambiriro ayengi.
You have to have trust in your business.
Ufire wakwata okucetekera ngula icetekelo muri makwebo yobe oyolebomba abantu ofire bakucetekera na ufire wacitekera makwebo olebomba na.
And you have to have a culture that people
We lost you there, Mark. Could you repeat that one?
Yes, you have to have a culture where people know what to expect.
Ufire wakwata orutambi olwo abantu bafire bayishiba icyo barekabirwako kuri iwe icyo barefu okumonapo barolera pofimu barefu okumona pofimu nangwa okusinda kofimu kuri iwe.
Mark has frozen up. We'll just wait for him to reconnect.
Labalolera kuba maki kwati kuliko internet issues.
It seems America has network problems today. Oh, we lost him. He is off the call. He will jump back on in a minute.
Balayisa nombaline kikwati nabo ku kyalo kyabo network nayo lero ino obwafya.
We're using examples today of businesses that have succeeded
na tumona ifyakumwenako kuma kampani nangula mabizinesi abyaleetita bwino
and businesses that have failed.
kabiri nayo amakwebo ayafirirwe
And some of the reasons why this has happened.
kabiri n'omulandu umwo fintu fyakanika okubombekwa.
There are many great businesses that you will launch in the future.
Kuli amakwebo ayengi omwingafu okukita ku ntandikwa tuleya.
Even your current businesses can be a stepping stone to larger businesses.
Kabiri nangula amakwebo yene omuleekita pali ndakaye naina kuti yaba lutampula pakwambira kuyapa ntanshi.
To learn the reasons for business success now, when you have a smaller business, is a better way to learn than when you have a larger business and the mistakes have greater implication.
Isuma iyakusambirira makwebo niryo okweta makwebo aya nono ukukira iryo makwebo yakula nangula kampani yakula.
I am in business in Africa.
Ine ndi makwebo mu Africa.
I'm a part owner in an export company of maize.
Kabiri na ine ninkwata olubari muri yo kampani yekwata okusya amataba kunse ya fyalo.
I am learning what works and what does not work according to what the market needs.
Na ine ndesambirira ifibombekwa nefishibombwa ukulenga nefyo abantu balefwaya otelefo kwa tuleshisha kwa mtelebomba nabo.
So we are all learning together.
So chiranga kuba tubonse tulesambirira chapamo.
Now I will hand back to Mark Hughes.
Sorry, my internet dropped.
Bamaki bawera so baratwalirira.
I am switched to my cell. So it is important to recognize the character of a leader.
Chikankala ukumona nangulo kuishiva imbela ya ntungurushi.
Because your employees and your customers depend on your character.
Bantu ababonfi bove kabina ba customer nangula abantu bole pyungira baleshintirira pambera yove oyo wabamo.
There are both opportunities to grow a business that stays in Zambia.
Kuri shuko lyako kuba timonse mumbali kuba ti umuntu kuti aikalira mu makwebo.
Lots of opportunities to stay in your community wherever you are.
Ayo bale tukwata ma opportunity nangula isha kushukira mo ichakwati tuwaikalira mu nchende moli iba mu kyalo nangula mu town moli n'okukita makwebo yove.
It is fine if you want to grow a business that stays in Kapiri Mapashi.
Nacho chilifye bwino nga wasalapo kuba tulefo okukita fya makwebo nangula business iya muno mwine fye mu Kapiri itaire sanduku kuya kuntanshi nangula kunse ya Kapiri.
But some people have to grow their business to all of Zambia.
Lero abantu bamo balekabira kwati benga kula amakwebo yabo kunse ya kyalo kyesaza.
And some people need to grow their business to other parts of Africa.
Bamo abantu nabo balefaya nangula balekabira okukula amakwebo yabo nangula business yabo mu fyalo fimbi ifya muno mwine mu Africa.
And some people need to grow their business to other parts of the world, like America.
Lero bamo balafu abene lokukishapo kufuma mu Africa bafye ku fyalo fya mpepo fya paranga America.
Because
moment. Mark, you'll need to repeat. You seized up then.
Right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Kapiri Mapashi needs new money.
Kapiri Mponshi ilekabirwa impia ishipya.
So it is important to grow our businesses to new areas.
Chikankala ukukula amakwebo Yesu munchende shimbi ishipya.
Every business starts very small.
Business yonse itampapa no.
And we just learned from some examples
Twachumire mukusambirira mukumona mufya kumwena kwaya makampani twachiranda pamukubala.
that sometimes you start your business doing one thing and you end up doing something else.
Limo ulaba ti watampa n'ekintu kimu makwebo yobe era waayesanga ati wayaponena muri fimbi ekyo wamba okubomba nafyo.
Just don't stop.
Leero oteekwesha okuleka.
Listen to your customers
Va owakunfwa kuri bakasitoma boobe tebalekabira.
and listen to what the market needs.
Kabiri unfwa n'efyo maketi irekabira finshi efyo abantu barefwaisha sana munkyendemu omuli.
And be willing to change your business whenever you need to.
Kabiri n'okuba fyo omuntu wangukirwa era olimakweboyobe onokuba ati mbefyo barebomba nafyo abantu tebarefwaisha sana barefwaisha fimbi wakwangukirwa okukinja wafuma muri ifyo fuwambire nafyo wamba okushitisha ibintu efyo barefwaya abantu bariyo nshita.
Because you need to have you need a growing market.
Kanti we ulekabira market ilekula nangula ulekabira okumulwa ati bakasitoma bwe bafula bakuba ati amakwebo berenda bwino.
And as your market changes, so does your business.
Ilo market yachinjishwa munshira imiturando okuba ati ilo ifintu efyo abantu barekabira fire echinjikwa nishina business yobe yala achinjikwa ngefire tali mutwengera munfula abantu baramba okufwayo efya nfula nga tewamu mpepo baramba okufwayo efya mpepo so kusudi awo lechinja fira fino kulingana efyo abantu barefwaya baliyo enshitole ekitapo makwebo.
But God has blessed Kapiri Mapashi.
Lero lesa napaala Kapiri Mponshi.
And God has blessed Zambia.
Kabiri lesa alipaala na Zambia.
And wants you to make a difference in your own community.
Kabiri lesa lefo kwati muchitepo fimwe fyakusanako momwine munkyendemu mwayikala.
It is going to be very hard work.
Iyalaba ninchito ikalamba yakosa nayo.
And it is going to take a long time.
Kabiri kirina okusendako n'enshita itali okwava tikitikefi.
But we will be here to keep working with you.
Leero ifo twalaba pano n'okutwalira okwenda naiwe.
Until your businesses are successful.
Paka fye tukamona okuba ati amakwebo yenu yafunduruka yayapantanshi.
I know that we would like it to happen faster.
Ninjishiba okuba ati kuti twakabira okuba ati kitike bwangu nkwangu fyanya mwamba fye bapene n'okula vyakula.
But the businesses that I talked about took years to get going.
Lero yali amakampani akiranda pomu kubala ngefya kumwenako kyasendera enshite itali uko batiyenga kula ukufika opo yafikire lero.
And they had to change in order to be successful.
Kabiri baambira okula ekinja babombako neki bafuma mu bayisa muri iki baana muri kirya bakwata ati beena babe abayimakana abayapantanshi.
So it has to be, you have to be flexible and patient.
Mufiremu abantu abakwata omutima wakuloleera wakuteeka mutima notukuba mu lubiro kufaata ati fintu bapene bwangu fikitike ambeni nokwata omutima wakuloleera paano nokwata bushuku bumo lina okusondoroka.
The work that all of you have put together is very, very good.
Omulimo nangula ifyo mubombere muri kintu kushifumineko fe twalere embaola fijja fyo mwabikire byonse pamo byonse fya filifye bwino.
And the support from the church and from Emmanuel Samanje is very, very good. Emmanuel has done a good job.
Kabiri n'okutungirirwa kumakuli ba munineefu ba Emmanuel ekironganiro kwena firi afurishi wapakalamba ngashi.
If you have questions, go to Emmanuel Munsanje.
Nga namukwatamu empusho kutima muna ba Emmanuel Munsanje.
And he can reach out to me.
Kabiri nabo ba Emmanuel bali n'okula nabo bamaki.
I am very proud of you and very excited for the future of Kaperi Mapashi and Zambia.
Ndiri wansansa na imwe kabiri n'obuyantanshi bwa kyalo kya Zambia.
Back to you, Seth.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark, and thank you for that wonderful lecture today. We appreciate, again, the time taken to invest into today's panelists. Again, excited for all that God is going to do in and through those that are on the call. And thank you to all that were able to be a part of today's lecture. We will again be back on next week at the same time. And I want to thank you all for being part of today's lecture. God bless you all. And we will see you. We will see you next week. God bless you.